Hello again, Erica Fett here, your favorite Bigfoot babe, and I am back with another Bigfoot video. I've had so many people reach out to me about topics you'd love to see me cover when it comes to cryptids and Bigfoot, and I'm so excited and ready to get to all of those. Today, what I'm going to be talking about are my top 5 favorite Bigfoot films. There are over 300 that range from comedy to horror, and I've seen so many of them, but here are my top 5 in no particular order. So kicking off my list is the classic Harry and the Hendersons. This was also the first movie about Bigfoot that I'd seen as a child, so it holds a very special place in my heart. This movie stars John Lithgow and Kevin Peter Hall, who plays Harry, and it's about a family who accidentally hits a Bigfoot out in the wilderness, and then they bring him back home to rehabilitate him, only for things to get really crazy. But I don't want to spoil that for you. It's a wholesome flick from the 80s, so if you have a family and want to watch something sweet and cute from the 80s, definitely give this one a watch. So number 2 on my list is The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot, and it sounds crazy, but it's crazy awesome. This movie stars Sam Elliott as a soldier who's assigned to track and kill Hitler in World War II. He's then later used by the government to aid them in killing a Bigfoot who's spreading disease to local wildlife. I won't get into too much because I don't want to spoil it, but it's a great story and totally exceeded all of my expectations. So number 3 on my list is Willow Creek. Now this follows a couple that are documenting their quest for Bigfoot across California. They stop at Willow Creek where there's a lot of Bigfoot tourist spots before heading out to camp in the surrounding woods. That's where things get kind of crazy, but I don't want to spoil that. This movie is a bit more scary than the others, but I had to add it to my list because it's super, super good. Also, pay attention to details with this one because the end is wild. Number 4 on my list is Big Legend. This is an action-packed movie about an ex-soldier who's tracking his fiancée who was kidnapped by Bigfoot. This movie does portray a very hostile Bigfoot, so there are very intense scenes. Director Justin Lee does a great job leaving you wanting more, and even offers a very awesome cameo in the end that I think you fellow horror fans will love. Number 5 on my list is Exist. This movie was written by Jamie Nash and directed by Eduardo Sanchez, who also directed the cult classic Blair Witch. This movie follows a group of friends who find themselves in a very hairy situation while they're on their way to a very secluded cabin in the woods. This movie is terrifying, but also adds a little bit of humor along the way, which makes it super, super enjoyable. Unnerving, unsettling in the best ways. So that was my top 5. I hope you really enjoyed this list. If you have any favorites out of those, make sure to mention them below in the comments. And also if you have any recommendations that I didn't mention, put them in the comments below because maybe I haven't seen it and you're giving me more stuff to look at. Anyways, thanks so much for hanging out for another video. Make sure to subscribe below to help your girl out. And as always, thank you times a million for hanging out for another Bigfoot video. Have a great rest of your night and thanks again for being an MVP.